Welcome to another Insert Credit Gaiden. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I'm Ben Fiquet. I'm the CEO of Lizard Cube, a creative and art director of the studio. And we released Wonder Boy Streets of Rage 4 and since a month now, Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Yes. And it's pretty good. I feel that I need to say that because last time I did one of these, some people said I wasn't nice enough about the game when I started. So I want to be clear that I actually do quite like this game, and I like the combat a lot more than Streets of Rage 4, and I guess Streets of Rage 4 you weren't in charge of the combat, that was a different team, right? Yeah. So that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's different. Both games are very different.
Certainly. So here's a kind of maybe it's a little too vague of a question, but I wonder how you approach art directing a game at this level, this specific level of fidelity, because there's a lot of detail, but also the more detail you add, the more detail people can miss if it's not there. So how do you find a kind of a balance of figuring out how much to put in? Because you could just go forever adding detail and things like that.
Well, the thing is, we have a joke internally saying that nobody looks at the backgrounds, for example. And I have a team of 3 people doing just the backgrounds. But the thing is,
I look at the backgrounds.
Yeah, but you can't do a sloppy job with that, because even if you're not like focused on that, like your mind is telling you, oh, it's missing something.
Right.
So we put a lot of care into the art, and I think my take on video games is that something should be happening on every screen or every 2 screens. So let's take 1920p, for example. Every screen, like visually, there should be something, or gameplay-wise, or situation-wise, something should be happening. And backgrounds are here to connect you with what you're, the world you're traversing. And it's easier to put landmarks instead of doing multiple gameplay stuff because it's very complicated.
Yeah. And do you use like different brush or pen stroke lengths for background and foreground kind of stuff? I know you have to do some zooming and things sometimes.
Yeah, not really. We're trying to be thorough and have the line identical everywhere, especially between the characters and the backgrounds. But to be fair, when you are putting everything together, like you want something to be bigger, and so you just scale your PNG.
Yeah, we actually just had to do that for for some romance graphics. They were very small. We don't have time to redo them, so now they're just big and pixelated, and it's fine.
Yeah, nobody cares really.
Yeah.
Like you need to have a vision. Like I want you to feel entertained visually.
Yeah.
But like if you get too technical for every aspect, you're gonna lose your mind.
Yeah, and it'll take forever. How do you approach the foreground-background problem that a lot of 2D games have, even more these days? I feel there's your game doesn't have it, but a lot of games, they struggle with what's in the foreground, what's in the background, what's a platform, and that kind of stuff. Like desaturating is good sometimes. I don't know. What's your approach?
Yeah, we try. At some point, we try to have a depth of field.
Yeah.
Too costly. So we remove that. But usually, we are trying to either put some saturation on the gameplay tiles.
Yeah.
Or like line work, which is more we blur the foreground, but on Photoshop.
Yeah. I see. And not in engine.
Yeah, not in engine. It's too costly. But ultimately, like having so many PNGs stacked together, it's a nightmare, especially for the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to do like crazy asset packaging and everything.
Yeah. That, and also like the draw calls are crazy.
Yeah, we struggled with we thought we were doing a really good job packing all the assets together so that patches would be small. on Switch, but they're not.
Yeah, of course they're not. Because when you're trying to do a patch, like you have to repack everything.
Yeah.
And so the whole, like sometimes the whole game gets
Yeah.
redone.
Whole game gets packaged in again. It's
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very frustrating. So let's talk about your philosophy of action games, if you have one in general. To kind of preface it, I'm very particular about action games myself. I don't like when there's so much stuff, like, or for example, Bayonetta, you keep hitting X
Yeah.
and you do all kinds of things, and it feels like I never actually need to
Yeah.
hit another button.
Yeah.
But I also get frustrated when a game is way too technical, and I must hit all these buttons in
Yeah.
exact like with fighting game precision, but it's not a fighting game.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So how do you feel about action?
Well, I think the thing is, you have different kinds of players.
Yeah.
You have like fighting game players that are very demanding in terms of combinations and stuff like that. You have casual players, and I think you need a bit of in between. I think everything should be readable, and my goal when we did the combat with my game designer Fred was that you could mash the buttons and something cool would happen. This is for casual playing, but if you want to properly fight the enemies, you need a bit of depth and you need to understand some skills are better for certain enemies.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of jank and pawn
Right.
with enemies, and but everything should be at the end of your fingers, like nothing too complicated. I'm a shitty fighting game player. So
Me too.
I don't want to spend too much time learning all the combat aspect of a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did a good job there because the action flows very well when you're just hitting buttons.
Yeah.
And I guess you must have worked on the animation side to make sure that things can interrupt each other
Yeah.
well, and flow into each other well.
Yeah, everything can be cancelled. Almost every action can be cancelled. The animation themselves, like the drawings, they tend to try to stick not too far from the idle pose. So when you stop a combo, for example,
Yeah.
and you come back to the idle pose, you're not like, oh, it's not too different from where I was visually.
Yeah, that's clever because it helps you flow between things if that's where your brain will kind of fill in the detail in between. That's good. Yeah, I felt like it was very good at kind of the action flow and feeling like it had weight. I did start to feel like maybe too many buttons and gauges for me. I started to lose track
Yeah.
of in fact where the gauges, what gauge was doing what.
Yeah.
I suppose you learned that over time, but
Yeah, I
while
think-
playing the demo, I did.
Yeah, if you only played the demo, maybe it didn't like tick for you, but after like few levels, it's like very easy.
Yeah, well, I think the trouble is I could very easily forget which thing, like, do I hold the bumper or the trigger to start a thingy. I forget those pretty fast. And so I guess for me, the core combat has to be quite good for when I forget all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you plan for movement flow from ground to aerial combos? Because that always struck me as somewhat difficult. I don't make character action games though, so I don't know if it actually is.
It's when you're in the air and you started jumping, your idle state is the state of jump.
Yeah.
And from this idle state, you can link it to attacks, aerial attacks. So basically, it's just moving from the ground to the air, but there's the same philosophy. And after a bit of time, you fall back down.
Yeah.
But usually, it's just one step to another.
Okay. Not that complicated, I guess.
Everything is not very complicated.
Yeah.
People tend to think too much of themselves.
How do you feel about overkills, like keeping combos going after the death of an enemy?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very entertaining. Like there's no real need to do that, and I think the combo is stopping when the enemy is dead.
Yeah.
But if like at the very last hit the enemy like disappears, it's very frustrating as a player. You want to your action like the animation.
You want to finish what you were doing, kind of.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense in terms of game design, but in terms of reality, grounded reality, like if I was fighting a guy and I push him like very far and still fighting him, it makes sense that I keep carrying on.
Yeah, I agree. I have been playing a lot of games around here at the Tokyo Game Show. By the way, we're at the Tokyo Game Show, which I didn't mention earlier. Sitting outside the main hall.
Yeah, it's very hot.
It's very hot.
Yeah, and a lot of people, and everybody's very tired.
A lot of people, everyone's tired, everyone's wiping their brows. Also, the flu is going around, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
But I've played a lot of games here from newer teams, and a lot of them struggle with really basic game feel stuff. And
in what sense?
in the sense of like, okay, you're like, what does the start of movement look like? Is it and a lot of these games I've been playing here, it's just like, it's like you float for a half second and then your animation starts or whatever. And sometimes that's fine, but it's like, it just gives you this immediate feeling that, okay, this isn't quite.
Yeah.
This isn't quite.
The thing is, I come from animation.
Yeah.
So, like, having a character that move realistically in terms of weight, in terms of actions, is important to me. But I can see when programmers are making just the character moving, they don't care about the reality or the grounded physics that are behind a character moving.
Yeah.
They just see a square that needs to go from point A to point B for gameplay sake. And even if that's correct in terms of gameplay, your eye will miss something or something will be afoot if you see just a lot of weightless character moving around.
I don't know how you fix that in a person. Like they have to be able to see it before.
That's the thing.
And they have to be able to care.
That's the thing with art in general.
Yeah.
People need to have the eye for it.
Right.
So that's why you need artists and you need programmers, you need game designers, but artists have the eye for what is relevant visually, and animators have the eye for what is relevant animation-wise.
Yeah, it's frustrating that not only can people making games not see it, but also I worry there are a lot of very popular games out there that ignore anything that you or I might have to say about making something look good or designing for the player to feel good. Like there's so many games on Roblox or whatever with like millions of players, and the kids, they genuinely don't care. And does that worry you at all?
No.
I mean, you're not making games for them, but
no. But every game is different. Like I love to play like Vampire Survivor, for example.
yeah,
It's not character based. It's just thing moving around but it's not made for that.
Yeah.
But when you're making a character based game, you have to follow through and to follow the basic animation principles.
yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Like in Roblox, tons of character action games where there's like not even an animation, and it's just like a guy and he goes boop.
Yeah.
But I guess that's fine.
But sometimes game design tramples all art and all animation.
Yeah,
To be
it's
fair,
true.
like you play Brotato? It's like
No.
not Vampire Survivor, but it's just a flash game with barely any animation. It works amazing.
Do you ever think about when you're making a game like this? Do you think about speedruns at all, and whether some really stupid movement style is going to be the fastest, and then suddenly?
Well, not really. Yeah. We knew that people would break the game like 2 days after the release.
Yeah.
But
So you just don't worry about it?
no, because why should I? People will always find a way to break your game or to speedrun it in ways you haven't imagined yet.
Yeah.
So let them have fun however they want.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably think about it too much because, say it's like jump and down attack winds up being the fastest way, and then you have like a voice sample attached to jump and down attack, and so then a whole speedrun of your game is like like that would drive me insane.
Well, but that's their fault.
I guess
they know what they're getting into.
I guess
I'm gonna do only jump and down attack.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I feel like, please don't embarrass me. But I guess they're gonna embarrass me. It's okay. And it's ultimately it's me embarrassing myself.
It's not your game anymore when you release it.
Right, yeah.
It's their game.
Yeah.
They can play it however they want.
It's true. But if I watch it, I will get embarrassed.
Got you.
So you say you're like a crappy fighting game player, but I felt like the roll attack structure, it reminded me a little bit of CVS2, Capcom versus SNK2. I wonder if that was in your mind at all or not.
Not really, no. That was more a way of engaging with enemies. And the dash, the rolling, we just linked it to an attack for carrying on and not being stopped in your flow.
Yeah.
It might be reminiscent of CVS2, but that's not it.
That would be an accident. Well, I like how it works. It lets me feel like, I do struggle. Another thing I struggle with action games is when it feels like I'm being stopped from doing something. Like I feel like these enemies are easy. I want to breeze through them and keep going.
Yeah.
And when games stop me from doing that, it feels like they're trying to pad out the game almost. Something like that.
I know what you mean. Yeah, we wanted to keep a constant flow of fighting. Obviously, sometimes you have arenas that you have to spend time in and defeat the enemies. But ultimately, what we wanted to have a simple mashing button able game, and that the flow you're in will not be interrupted. Except if you're getting hit or except if you're... But if you're fighting, like, you can link any action.
Right. Speaking of stopping the flow, who loves those spike puzzles? Who's super into spike puzzles? Is that you?
No. I didn't level design. It will be Fred and Jim, which are level designers.
Yeah. Are they like this is gonna be the most fun thing? It's time to have a.
It's not meant. Well, it's meant to be fun for a category of players.
Yes.
And some people really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And some people really want the struggle.
Yeah.
It's totally avoidable.
Of course, it's optional.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, is there a person on your team who is one of those like masocore? I love spike puzzles that spawn you back at the beginning. I know it's not necessarily at the beginning, but
no, I think it's a team effort. Like, we need to have some constraint for the player, so they need to struggle a bit for these particular levels. But other than that, like, it's not like there is a one masochist guy that loves to brutally murder the player.
So everybody kind of likes spike puzzles, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you take anything from the PS2 games at all? Like, what? Because I again, just in the demo, I started to notice things from like Shinobi 3, like the kunai bursts and stuff like that. So were you drawing from various ones?
Yeah, well, we drew from, like, to gather all the memories that comes with the IP.
Yeah.
From the bosses, from the characters from Shinobi 1, 2, 3. I guess the execution is reminiscent of Shinobi PS2.
Yeah.
But Shinobi PS2 is very odd compared to
Yeah.
the mainline series. And when we started the project, the goal was, and it's very difficult, like even for Streets of Rage, to try to gather the collective memory of everyone.
Yeah.
And nobody has the same nostalgia.
Right.
So you have to try to condense everything and try to do a bit of fan service, try to do a bit of new stuff, modernize the gameplay, modernize the whole game, and but still trying to fit that with what made Shinobi what we remember it.
Yeah. I always say that like with a remake or a sequel to an older game, it should play like you remember it, not how it actually was. Yeah.
Because some people hate me for what I've been doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's not my pixels. How could you? This is not a Shinobi game. It's not a Street of Rage game. I don't know, whatever. But I understand. Like they can be frustrated. But in today's age, I think you need to modernize.
Yeah.
Because gamers are. There's so many games now, so you can't just make a game from the 90s and call it a day. Because people want more. For each game they play, they want something like interesting, they want something that is fun and entertaining. And fun and entertaining now is not the same as in the 90s.
Game design has improved, the player experience has improved pretty dramatically since then. We did a pseudo 3D racing game called Oh Dear. And a lot of people were saying it's exactly like Outrun. It's great, but it's not exactly like Outrun. It's 16:9. It has 100 times as many sprites in it. It plays much more smoothly. There's drifting and stuff, but they just remember the kind of fun that they had playing Outrun is the same kind of fun they're having now.
Yeah, but because if you remember it, like Outrun was just driving on the West Coast. Very, very fun, but if you play the game now, it's very dry.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite stoic.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the extra spice that it got after
the
like
meat.
Yeah. How do you then, when you're putting together a lot of different opinions on stuff, how do you approach the art direction? Not the art direction, the creative direction, because I was just talking to someone on a much bigger team yesterday about the struggles of aligning everyone's ideas, because people will disagree, people will feel like this idea or that is not good. Or do you specifically build your team so that there's not conflict?
I try to encourage boldness and fun. Like, is it cool? Yeah, let's put that in the game.
Yeah.
Like
a producer's nightmare.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be like mindful of my business, because it's my company, and so I have like both roles of trying to keep everyone together and trying to be creative at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's something I learned with video games, and ultimately in creation, you don't need to be timid. You don't need to shy away from the coolness. Sometimes you can go too far, but you can still go back a little bit. And it's better to go back a little bit than having an okay game.
Yeah. I always worry that I'm not going far enough, that I'm not pushing something to the maximum. But I am also, of course, trying to rein things in and make sure the game can release on time. But I look at other games that are really, really pushing boundaries and I get jealous.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's good to be jealous. I like, you know, in my head, the competition like I can have with other like artists or companies or games. I love what they're doing, and I would try to do much better than them, but just for the sake of surpassing myself.
Like we're working on a tactics game right now, and luckily I'm not too jealous of most tactics games. I'm a little jealous of Into the Breach. They had some ideas that were really good. Specifically, the thing I got most jealous of is that there's always a primary and secondary objective. I don't know if you played it.
Yeah.
But the fact that, okay, of course you're supposed to kill the monsters, the kaiju, but they're attacking your houses and energy grids and stuff, and so you need to defend those as well. So there's always, every turn there's a choice to be made, and really no other tactics game has done it like that, where there's always a choice.
I'm not a big tactic games player, but I've played Into the Breach, and I would say it's very clever. Oh, it's very smart. Like, you see everything that can be done.
Yes.
And it's sad. And if you fail, like, it's a matter of you.
Yeah.
Like, the game showed you everything.
Right.
And you just have to be clever.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I'm a little jealous of. My tactics system, we came up with it before Into the Breach was announced, but they are somewhat similar.
But it came out like a long time ago, right?
I know. Yeah, well, so we don't have enough money that we can work on one game at a time. So we had to make a game for Stadia in the meantime. We had to make a game for Netflix in the meantime, and then, you know.
All the big platforms.
Yeah, so that we can then take some of that money and finish our game with it. And so yeah, it took a long time. Unfortunately, it's frustrating to have a system that is quite good and quite unique, but then someone else does it like maybe just a little better in your opinion. Our systems are different enough that I think people can appreciate them, but that like always two choices to make thing is just
but
really...
you have to think like what would be even better.
Yeah.
So what can be improved on top of that?
Yeah, and I never figured that out.
Yeah, that's a trick.
Yeah, I was curious if there were any other kind of big influences on Shinobi. I was wondering if did you ever play the translation that people landed on was Psychic Killer Taromaru for Saturn.
No.
It's like a 2D game with 3D backgrounds, and like the background can shift and stuff. It's pretty cool. But did you take anything from outside Shinobi?
Yeah, of course. We looked at a lot of. I'm always looking at various games from AAA to indie games to even with my research, I always try to find all the interview from the developer at that time.
Yeah.
And also I'm looking at the fan art, the fan games, the fan fiction.
Yeah.
Because this is like a collective memory, and it's interesting to look at a broad picture and try to gather everything that's like part of creation, like gather everything and spit it out like an AI.
Yeah. There recently this old Dojin game came across my path again that I had forgotten about, which was like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was a Tifa from Final Fantasy VII hentai game, except aside from the hentai stuff, it had a really excellent 2D belt-scrolling brawler system that was really smooth and smart, and you could kind of like store your actions and use them on the next, like store your special attacks, use them on the next wave of enemies as they approach. It just had a lot of interesting little ideas, and it was interesting to think about that because it's like when people get so inspired by something to make something like that, it's like, okay, I'm making an eroge, but I'm also going to put all my amazing brawler ideas into this. It's just it shows where people's headspaces were in that time.
I think there was like one guy in the team that said, yeah, okay, it's an erotic game, but
yes,
let me do this part.
Right.
And he's trying to make a good fighting game, beat 'em up game, and every other one in the team is just making
an area. Yeah. I don't know. That dissonance is interesting sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious about your thoughts on the Metroidvania or Igavania style, platform, I guess I would say. Because again, I only played the demo, but from what I was reading, it seems like the structure that you have is more you get a new ability and then you can go back to an area and
Yeah.
there's something new for you to do, but there's not like that much to do if you do it one at a time.
Yeah. It's light Metroidvania.
Yeah.
It's mostly level-based and action-based
Yeah.
game, but we wanted to add a bit of finding secrets and going
Yeah.
back. But internally, we like to call it Arcadevania. Which is a term we're trying to coin, but it's not taking up. So Arcadevania, in a sense, is what is a game. It's mainly arcade.
Yeah.
Like you start, you fight, you have fun, and sometimes you have to go back a little bit.
Yeah. So the impression I was getting is that a lot of the going back is like you have to go back and there's just one thing just somewhere in the level that you can get. But if you went back like after you got all the abilities, there would be several things for you to do. So it was like not maybe totally in the flow.
Yeah, like basically you can start the game and finish the game without even looking
Right.
back. So going back is totally optional, but it's for people that want to 100% the game. And,
Yeah. But do you not feel like the incremental going back is a little bit of like a momentum stop versus like if you could go back and there were several things at once? Because most Metroidvania, you go back and there's like a new area.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think we wanted to go that route. We wanted just to have a bit of secrets to go back to,
Okay.
but not like another part of the level that you are currently on is blocked before you find the right skill attached to level 1, for example. So you need some back and forth, and it's really killing your flow of level-based game, which is ultimately what a Shinobi game is.
Yeah. It's you're keeping the flow of the main game but the sub game of going back is not as flowy. So that was the sacrifice, I guess. Something like that. Can you talk at all about working with Sega or no, what it was like?
To be fair, it was a great relationship. We work with Sega of Japan, our producer.
Yeah.
The thing is our producers come from game development. They've been directing, they've been game designers, they've been like producing. Two of them were on Shenmue 1. A lot of them worked on various Sega franchises. So when they're asking something, it's not just for the sake of marketing.
Yeah.
It's not for the sake of we need something, a hook or something. No, it's just it will be good for the game. And ultimately that's what like link us because I think we have a care for the craft, like Japanese people, as you know, they care about the craft, and we also do that. So yeah, we had a great relationship. Despite that, this is a big, massive company,
Right.
and we are very small.
Yeah.
So all the processes that comes with it
Yeah.
is very difficult for us because we are very flexible and they are not.
Right.
And sometimes it's very difficult to go past that. But at the end of the day, yeah, everyone gathered to make a good game despite our differences.
They've had a lot of good things to say about you in meetings I've had with them. So
Really?
just
Nice.
so you know.
Nice.
Yeah. When I was pitching something to them that they didn't want, they were like, "You should be more like Lizard Cube." Not exactly, but kind of.
Like comparing to your next girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. It really felt that way. Well, that's good. My experience working with Japanese companies has been more paperwork than you ever want to deal with.
Yeah.
A lot of it they do on their end, but it still winds up slowing you down because they still they have to do things before decisions get made.
The thing is, everything needs to be a PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Everything needs to be an Excel document.
yeah,
Just give me an answer right now.
Yes.
We don't need to explain, and we don't need to make a meeting we are seeing a PowerPoint that you sent me already, and we're just talking about that PowerPoint.
Right. Yeah, I've seen the PowerPoint. We don't need to say every point
line.
on the PowerPoint. I get it.
And also there is a translation that maybe you don't have because you speak Japanese. But for us, so meetings every time is twice as long as it needs to be.
Yeah. The other thing about working with big companies is and this is like, I'm not talking about Sega specifically or any specific company, but they always want things right away by a certain deadline. But then my experience, they don't do the things that they need to get back to you by their own deadline. That doesn't happen.
It's your fault if you're not on time. But if you didn't give anything that was needed for that deadline, it's not their fault.
Yes.
It's like, it's complicated.
There's various, there's complicated situations.
Yeah.
I was wondering, maybe a silly question, why no Richard Jakes for the soundtrack? No?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is? Oh, so he did Sonic R and Sonic 3D Blast, and in Europe, he did Shinobi X. So the European Saturn Shinobi game was Richard Jakes. He did the soundtrack only for Europe. So I was like, that would be such a cool little...
very specific.
It's very specific, obviously.
Yeah.
But I love Sonic R, and I'm very big into that kind of like...
The thing is, we had Koshiro-san and T. Lopez, and both of them, Koshiro-san is crucial to Sega memories and Shinobi as well, because he did like Shinobi 2, he did Shinobi Game Gear, and T, he's been a good friend and he's a very talented composer. He did Sonic Mania, he did Street of Rage DLC, and like he got what we wanted in terms of music. It was not even a question in my head.
Well, if there's any more DLC, just take a look at Richard Jakes. Just check him out. He's
okay. Interesting.
And also Motohiro Kawashima did GG Shinobi 2. He's like Koshiro's number 2 guy.
I know.
Yeah.
We had him on the Street of Rage.
Yes. I worked with him on that Outrun-ish game that I mentioned. He did all the music for it. Yeah. Nice guy. I wish that he could get a little more assertive so that he could get more work again.
Yeah.
It's
funny because there's like a revival of Japanese composer by Western indies.
Totally. I really feel that.
Yeah.
And good for them. Okay, what else did I want to ask you about Shinobi? That might have been mostly it. Yeah, I would have probably had more if I had more time to play the full game, but I'm going to.
Don't worry. I'm
going to do it.
Glad to...
Well, it's a good one, and I think you're carving out a good niche for yourself in a way. Where people are understanding your company name more with each game.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying. The thing is, I would like to do original games.
Yeah.
But at the moment, especially in this economy, in this industry, which is very dire.
Right. You feel like you need the little push from the license?
Yeah, and also I love it. I love to work. It's my teenage dream come true.
Yeah.
And we are building... with Wonder Boy was a small project of 2 people based on emulation. Street of Rage 4 was 3 companies working together. Right. So it was, they had a proprietary engine that we can't reuse. So for Shinobi, I had to build a full team, a new pipeline on Unity, and so I'm using also this contract work, which is license work, for building that up. And when I'm gonna be old enough in terms of competence, I will try to do original games. But for the moment, I think it's good for names and for the reach that Sega games have.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to continue like building your tool set, but also, so us, for example, I keep wanting to get closer and closer to making a Yakuza game. Yeah, and so...
In what, like the one they're doing at Sega, or?
Yes. Yes, like a Ryuga Gotoku. I don't want to do that, but that's
Yeah.
like the arena that I am interested in, where you have like a world that you can kind of reuse. You can build more things inside of there.
In terms
And-
of okay.
Yeah, and like it can be an action game or it can be something else, but it can also support mini games and side quests and
I think
conversations.
they've been very clever with that.
They have.
Like they can do one game every 2 years easily, and it's not small games though.
No, they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to build towards something like that. And to me, if I work on a licensed game or something and that gets me closer, then that's good. Like my internal goals are being met. So nothing wrong with doing licenses. And I think now, especially like you said, it's a tough time. So
Yeah, it's a tough time. I have like 10 people in the company now.
yeah.
And sustainability should be a word in the mouth of every video game company. Like you see Microsoft laying off people and laying thousands of people.
Yeah, and saying AI is so cool.
Yeah,
Let's
well-
replace you.
Yeah, but if you get rid of your creative people, your very highly skilled people, you won't have a company in a few years.
No.
Well, at least Microsoft there.
Yeah, they may, but
Yeah, they may.
not a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks. Is there anything else that you want to like mention or talk about
not
or
really.
promote or
Not
something?
really, yeah,
You
the
got
game-
your like secret French podcast or something that you want to...
No, that's all right. Buy the game, play the game, and let's share all these beautiful moments for Sega games all together.
Yes. Great. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.